Yes, no? What's that? Yeah, it's pretty simple. So let me put a triangle up here for an example, because it really is not going to take very long. So this is A, C, and B. We have 67 degrees. We have theta. We have 56.3 for the sides and 80.2 for this other side. Law of sines is nothing more than a proportion that you cross multiply. Here is the law of sines, and you can have this on your formula sheet if you want. The law of sines says that the sine of A is to the opposite leg A, as the sine of B is to the opposite leg B, as the sine of C is to the opposite leg C. So you just pick two of those fractions and cross multiply. It all depends on what they've given you. That's all it is. You set up a proportion and solve for the missing piece. So if I want to know angle B, what I do is I say the sine of theta is to 56.3. And then I'm not going to use sine of A because, number one, I don't have that angle, nor do I have the opposite leg of A, right? So I'm going to use the sine of C, which is the sine of 67 degrees over 80.2. And now you cross multiply everything. So you need your calculators. And so what I have here is the sine of theta times 80.2 equals sine of 67 times 56.3. Alright, so we'll do the right side first. 56.3 times sine of 67. Everybody make sure you're in degree mode. So the right side, I get 51.8244. Make sure you got that on your calculator. Make sure you did it right. On the left side, I still have 80.2 times the sine of theta. How do I solve for the sine of theta? You divide off the 80.2, right? And that'll give me my answer of the sine of theta. Still not the answer though. So 51.8244 divided by 80.2. This is just the algebra part. You set up the proportion and the cross multiply. Now the problem is that's not your degree. How do I get theta by itself? How do I remove the sine? Yeah, the inverse. So the arc sine. So the arc sine of 0.64619. And theta then equals 40.3 degrees. Okay? That's the lesson. I'm going to do one more example where you're finding the length of a side versus the angle. If you're doing the angle, you're going to have to find the inverse of whatever it's equal to. But that is literally all you're doing today. Tomorrow we do the hinge theorem. You'll know tomorrow, okay? So let's do one more example, and we'll be done. Let's see. Let's find... You know, let's just solve a triangle. How about that? Let's do number 12. This is number 12 in the book. Here is the triangle. A, B, C. Side length 3.4. And angle A is 80 degrees. And BC is 6.5. Now it says to solve the triangle. Well, to solve this triangle, you need all the angles and all the sides. Okay, so I see that I have these two opposite from each other, so I'm going to set that up. So the sine of 80 degrees is to 6.5. And then I can just choose at this point what to do. There's nothing I can do with angle C or the opposite leg AB. So that means I have to use sine of B again. I don't know the sine of B, but the opposite side is 3.4. So everybody solve for the angle B, please. Cross multiply and see if you can do it. It's the exact same thing we just got done doing. Oh, something's wrong. The 3 didn't register when I did 3.4. Okay. All right, hold on. I like this part. Why is that not working? All right, so 3.4, make sure it's on there, times sine of 80. So it came out to like 3 point something for the degree. I knew that was wrong, so that made me look back on it. So try not to be as dumb as I am when you're doing stuff. 3.34835. That look right? Then we divide off the 6.5. And we get 0.51513. So the arc sine of that, 31.0 degrees. Okay, so angle B is 31.0 degrees. We'll just say 31. So what's angle C then? What is it? How do you figure it out? Yeah, subtract both those from 180. Yeah, so now you can put those in there and we can find little c. Okay, again, you can say the sine of 80 degrees is to 6.5 as now the sine of 69 degrees is to little c. You're finding a side here. You're not going to need to take the arc sign or anything, okay? So let's go ahead and cross multiply and solve that, please. So those were the 3 pieces missing. Everybody get 6.2? And that's it. That's all you're doing today. Okay, that was the hardest problem. Okay. Tomorrow will be a little bit harder than that, but you're just setting up the law of sines. Okay? All right, good.